Good evening, sir.
Sir.
I'm Brendan Miller. I'm legal counsel for Freedom Corp, which is the entity that's representing the protesters who were here in January and February of 2022. I just have a few questions for you. I'm actually going to be quite quick. And first, thank you for your very detailed and forthright testimony already today. First question is just with respect to this agreement that had been set up between the protesters and truckers to relocate. I understand that the relocation was supposed to be of all vehicles from everywhere except Wellington. Is that correct?
No, it is not. The broad intent was to have vehicles leave the residential districts, and hence the priority was those districts south of Wellington, at the corner of Sussex and Rideau, and to a lesser extent, Coventry.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that it's our understanding, from our clients at least, that it was simply to be Wellington in the end. That was it. Does that change what you've just said at all, that that was the intention?
It doesn't, because I mentioned that there is great fluidity in our discussions with Mr. French around the notion that some could be relocating outside of Ottawa to separate areas, a farmer's field in Van Cleek Hill off the 417, etc. So we had no idea where they were going, but we expected the vast majority to relocate north of Wellington, where we were told it would be an easier perimeter to manage.
Right, and I also understand then that the mayor's vision for how this would work out as well, and some of the protesters and truckers, was that all trucks, other than the ones on Wellington, would be moved out of town, and that the protesters would just shuttle in buses from their camps outside of town on a go forward. We
were told that was an option, and we don't know if we have no insight into whether or not the organizers were able to pull that off.
Right. And you agree, and from your statement, that it was the police that prevented the deal from being executed in the end, correct?
My opinion is that it is a broader context of circumstances, and that the invocation of the Act created a new legal framework around Parliament Hill in that red zone, and that the authorities decided to take a step back and see what was the impact of the invocation of the Act.
Right, but it's fair to say that Mr. Wilson, in your dealings with him, he never indicated to you that the protesters and truckers ever intended to renege on the deal.
That is correct.
Thank you. Those are my only questions, and have a good evening, sir.
Thank you.